Hi everyone, and welcome to our video for our Journey Travel Planner. Wow, travel planners, I tell you, this is so easy to make. You guys are gonna have so much fun with this kit, and there's so many options, and it'll be a lot more evident once we get to the part where I show you everything. But I wanted to just give you a quick tutorial on the form itself. Obviously, I'm a big proponent of having things that you can just make at home. I don't have to go to the store, buy it and everything else. It has to be a special size and everything else. It's nice when you can just make them at home. So because my travel planner complete is 6 inches tall and 4 inches wide, and I wanted something solid. I'm using the bristle board again, the white poster board, bristle board, whatever you call it. I'm using that as my cover because I want to have a nice solid cover on it. This obviously is, and then I have a 1/4 inch spine down the center. I don't know if that shows really well in the video, but there is a 1/4 inch spine down the center here. There we go, that maybe shows a little bit better. So obviously I want a piece of this bristle board that is 6 inches tall and 8 1/4 inches wide, because I'm then gonna score it at at 4 inches from each side. I'm going to score, and that gives me my 1/4 inch spine in there. Okay? So that's pretty easy. That's pretty self-explanatory. And when everything comes together, you're going to see how this all kind of shakes out. But basically, my inside pages, I wanted the page themselves, now you're going to see they're going to be all adorned differently, but I wanted the page themselves to basically be the same page. Let's just make sure I'm in frame here for you. Yeah, so the pages, I had these come directly in the kit. If you just take a look at the one side, there we go. That's actually what I'm printing, is I'm printing just this one journal card, and I've sized it so that it is 5 3/4 tall and 3 7/8 inch wide, because I want it a little bit smaller, so when it goes in here, there'll be a little bit of 1/8 of an inch all the way around, just so that way these pages don't get dog-eared and bent and everything else, right? But when I printed it, I put 2 of them side by side, okay, and then just scored it down the center. So when I put my pages together, I'm gonna glue these together like this, as you can see, and then I'm gonna glue another set together. These ones are going to go in here. So as you can see, everything, this is all going to get glued, so this will make more sense but when you see it. But as you can see, you have your inside pages, and you can make as many as you want. So your travel planner can literally be, each one is going to be adorned differently, and you're going to see how cool this is going to turn out. And why this is such a fun project is because it is relatively easy, and everything is different. Even though my pages here are the same, you're going to see how this all transforms. But when you do this, that is the crux of making this mini album. The rest of it is simply embellishing it the way you want. And being able to, I really wanted to be able to add as many pages as I wanted to this, and you'll see that when I'm finished as to how it all goes together and how I've been able to do that. Talk to you soon when we'll come back and see the finished project. And here it is, folks, a travel planner. Look at this, isn't this fabulous? So starting out, obviously, we've used our Journey collection in order to do this, the bundled Journey collection. And this is only a very small amount of what it actually entails. And you'll see this as I go through it, and I'll kind of sort of try and guide you a little bit and talk to you a little bit about what else is available. But this is so personalized. This is such a perfect kit for this, not only for digital scrapbooking layouts and mini albums and cards and all kinds of stuff, but the travel planner I just thought was the perfect idea. So this planner, on the front page, this is just a background paper. All this clustering on the side, that's actually part of the paper, the background paper. So I just resized it in order to fit onto this front cover. Each of these little flags, again, same thing. I resized them, and there's about I think there's about 12 or 13 different flags. Now, there isn't one for every single country, unfortunately, because there's 230 some odd countries in the world. So I just chose some of the ones that, you know, but obviously if you were traveling to certain areas, what great things. These ones, again, I resized and I just pasted them down. I didn't use, in some of my other projects, I used those little foam dots, you know, all that kind of stuff. For here, I thought, you know, it's going to be slid in and out of places. It's going to whatever. I don't want things to get caught and moved around, but I still wanted that dimension. So everything is glued down. Obviously, the spine is just, there is a piece of paper on there, which is actually this paper, which is the damask paper. And on the back, if you can kind of feel my finger running along there, this cluster is all one cluster that comes in the Lil Bits. So our Lil Bits Journey Additional Elements pack, that comes in there, and I put that onto the paper before I printed. And then I printed it as one. Again, because when you're gonna have your, you're gonna slide it around, I don't want things to catch on it and things to get dog-eared or torn or things like that. So there's the front. So going inside, here we are, folks. This first page, let me start off by doing this. This first page, a gorgeous background paper, and this paper actually with all the city names on it, it comes in several different colors, so whatever color palette you wanted to work with. I particularly liked it. I like the boldness, almost kind of looks a little bit like leather, if you will, it has that rich look to it. This background paper here, let me just put this up like this, hopefully you can see this in the screen. I've created a little bit of 1/8 inch kind of dimension to it. And then there's another 1/8 inch piece that hangs over so that I could glue it down. So that this is quite the pocket, like it has quite the dimension to it. I've created that both on the side and on the bottom here so that this sticks up. So that something like this card, now this card comes complete to you. It has travel dates, companions, destination, accommodations, and attractions visited. This is great for when you're doing your planning. Everything is right in here. But the reason I wanted this to have some dimension to it is there's going to be so many other things you're going to place in there. Whether it be even just a pen, but you're going to have so many other things you're going to want to put in there. You're going to have so many little notes, so many other little things that you're going to want to have tucked in there. I wanted this to have some good dimension to it, so you had everything can go in this travel planner. This tag here, always take the scenic route. Again, this is a tag right from the kit. I simply resized it to fit this exact part of the page. And this I actually did put on some pop dots, those sticky foam dots. The last thing is these little brads. Again, those come right in the kit, and I simply layered those on the paper. I could have pasted those on as well, but just for cutting and all that kind of stuff. I just actually layered them on the paper and printed it onto the paper when I did that. So you just have to kind of figure it out because you know that, okay, here's my dimension here and my dimension here. I'm going to cut that part of the paper off. You just have to put it on that way. Page 1. Again, all the pages, the interior pages, as you saw in the first part of the video, they are exactly identical. Just the embellishing is different. So on page 1, I chose to use date of arrival because obviously your first page where, I'm here. Here it is. So you can write in there. I used the plane in here. And again, all of these are simply glued down. And same thing with the "you are here," just to give it a little bit of a life and a little bit more effervescence there. In between each of the pages, I won't pull these out every time, but in between each of the pages, there's also a journal card. So these journal cards, again, they're very nice and plain. It gives you a lot more journaling area. You could also stick a photo on the back or paste something to it, whatever you wanted. So that way, when I glued these papers down, obviously I left the end open so that that could go in there. And each of the pages have them. Page 2, again, I wanted to go with something a little nicer here. I used the flower cluster and the journey tag, as well as this arrow down here. Each of these are 3 separate elements that come individually into the kit. You simply resize, paste them in, and away you go. I think you're starting to see how this is developing, and because there are so many of these type of things in the Journey collection, you can adorn this any way you want. But look at the inside. Each and every page is magnificent. This was the ideal page that Mary Fran designed in order to do this. And again, I just resized it. This is, each page is 5 3/4 by 3 7/8 wide, so that they all fit together. This page here on page 3, let's take that off for a sec. Page 3 has Enjoy the Journey, and this cluster of the suitcases is one big cluster. And when I glued it down, I thought, it'd be kind of neat to have a tag in there. Again, you could write on that. It's just kind of a neat little area. Maybe you had something else you wanted to slide in there other than a tag. Maybe you had a, whatever that was, something that you wanted, a memento, or it was a ticket stub from something that you attended, whatever. It does give you little pocket type things in order to put those things in as you're journaling about it. This little tab here, these tabs, there's different colors of them. There's 3 different colors of them that come in the kit. And I just printed 2 of them and glued them back to back. But I only glued the top portion of it. And I thought, you know, this particular one only has 8 pages in it, but obviously you could go to, you know, as many pages as you want. And I thought this would be kind of nice that you could have it as a page. You just slide it in there, and it actually, because of the glue, it tucks in enough. So when it's closed up, you know what page you're on. You can automatically flip to that page. Just an idea, right? Just a thought. So again, it has, as you can see on the red here, this has the pull-out journal card as well. So each of them, they're all lined, a different style again, something that matches within the scope of this particular adornment of this page. Page 4. Safe travels. Again, this tag is completely done for you. Just resize it, print it, cut it, and away you go. Same thing with this little flower cluster. The little flower cluster was already done. All I had to do was resize it, print it, and cut it. This photo prong. This is a photo prong just like you would have in you know, old photo albums, things like that. And when I glued it down, I actually did leave it where I only glued down the first little bit. So if you did have a photo, or again, you had ticket stubs, you had something you went to, you could slide those in there. It's on that page that you journaled about, away you go, right? I thought it was kind of a neat idea. Page 5, live your life by a compass, not a clock. Again, you've got an extra journaling spot. You've got this journey tag, which comes to you it's either in the kit or the little bits. I can't remember which one. But that journey tag, again, is just scaled down, print it, cut it, away you go. And again, this has a journal card slid into it so that you can have further journaling areas, because your days are pretty packed when you go traveling, aren't they? Page 6, travel the world. I used the little suitcase. This suitcase comes exactly as you see it. I simply resized it, print it, cut it. And again, I didn't glue down this one side because I thought, here's another little area for a little ticket. Now, how cool would this be if you had something you went to, whatever, again, ticket stubs, whatever, or just a little journaling thing, like this was my favorite moment of today, or whatever it was. Or this is the place that we happen to be at, you know, because I am writing so much in here. This is this place today, and here's what I wrote it on to slide in there. On this side here, on page 7, the frames. Again, when you look at our kits, we always include frames in them. Mary Fran always draws you some great frames. And a lot of people maybe get stuck thinking they're only for photos. Well, they're not, folks, and I'm here to show you how. This journal card right here, I haven't been everywhere, but it's on my list. That's what this journal card is. And again, I just resized it, print it, cut it so that it would fit. And again, a great spot to slide this in. Now, again, you don't have to use this journal card. Maybe it's tickets. Maybe it's something else you wanted to adorn that with, but I thought that was kind of a cool little thing. Plus, it gives you another journaling area. Page 8 is, this is actually a background paper. This is a full 12 by 12 background paper that I scaled down to this size. This is probably, I don't know, maybe 2 inches square now. So look at what you can do with even the background papers. There are the 6 continents. Obviously, we didn't include Antarctica as the 7th. But there are the 6 continents, and each of them has this paper. So maybe you were going to Europe, you'd use that one. Maybe you were going to Asia, you'd use that one, whatever it is. And again, here, I wanted a nice little pullout. This is the boarding pass that is complete for you. That is already done for you. You'd simply resize it, print it, cut it, and away you go. It is that simple. And what a great little spot in order to tuck this in. And again, it just makes for such interest when you're doing this. The last page, again, I used the same background papers I did on the inside front cover. I wanted them to match. Great looking paper. And this is our postcard that comes to you, minus the compass. The compass comes as a separate element, and I layered that onto the postcard, printed it, and then obviously just glued only the 3 sides of this in order to slide in my card of my travel notes. Date, places visited, moments to remember. Because we're nearing the end of the vacation, you know, we wanted something like that in order to remember all that stuff by as well. So lastly, is the back cover we've already seen. Lastly, as you see, I use jute in order to secure everything in here, my pages. What that allows me to do is put in as many pages as I want, because maybe when you start out, you think, okay, you know what, I'll put in, like I have 8 pages here. Maybe you went up to 12 and you thought, you know, good enough. That should be enough pages. I love the versatility that it offers. Being able to add so many pages, like you can add 20, you can add 4, you can add whatever you want. That, you know, I love a project that has that versatility. Obviously, you don't, when you're planning for it, you can't get it 100% right, and that's kind of the reason we craft, is because it's so personal to exactly what we were looking for. So this allows you the ability, with having the jute in there, you can put in as many or as few pages as you want, and it's going to be 100% exactly what you wanted to do with it. Thanks for tuning into the video, folks, and I hope you love this travel planner, and I hope that you'll take a stop by our store and pick this Journey collection up for yourself. It is a fabulous kit to create with. But before you leave, I hope that you'll go down in the right-hand side of the screen here, take a look at our Nitwit Collections logo, click on that to subscribe to our channel so that you'll be sure not to miss any videos that we have come out, whether that's projects, new video kit releases, whatever that is. And as well, stop by, give us a thumbs up, and maybe leave us a comment. Let us know your thoughts on it. Let us know if you made one yourself. You know, we're always happy to hear what things you're working on and what things you would like to see. Or let me know if you have a question on this, if there was something I went through too quickly or didn't describe properly. I'm always happy to answer. Thanks again for tuning into our video. I hope that you'll create this travel journey yourself and really, truly enjoy the entire process. Thanks, and happy creating.